As long as I don't get any Pip Pip Cheerios or something like that, I should be fine. I won't crack that much. Yeah, I appreciate you coming on.
Noah?
Excuse me?
Where do you live?
I live in England.
Oh, in London?
No.
Oh, is that I didn't hear what you said then.
He said England, and then you guessed London.
England.
And she just said not. And she just said not London.
Oh, okay. I thought I heard London.
No, not
in
London.
Yeah, I know. So I thought she said London. But I was in London like 6 years ago. My first time over there. Went to watch a football game, American football game, not that other stuff. Yeah.
Not a big soccer fan.
No, a guy I worked with is a Saints fan, and I was a Dolphins fan, so we both went over there. Yeah, it was cool. I'd never been there, and man, it's a cool place.
Bossman, have you ever seen Green Street Hooligans?
Bossman has not seen Green Street
Hooligans. You should definitely go check out this movie. You'll have a different appreciation for soccer in England or in Europe in general. Yeah, basically, it's just about soccer hooligans and the what do they call them? The firms that they have that travel around and they go to the same games and they fight other firms from the supporting teams. And they get into some crazy brawls, but they Americanized it a little bit because Frodo is the main character from Lord of the Rings. He got kicked out of Harvard because he had some cocaine on him, or he got framed with some cocaine or something, and they kicked him out of Harvard and sent him to live with his sister in England. And yeah, it's actually a pretty good one.
I've seen some hardcore stuff about the I don't know if they're like gangs or whatever that follow the soccer teams down in like South America. Man, it's pretty hardcore.
I haven't seen any of that.
No, England football matches are raj.
What about football?
Like the matches are absolutely insane. Like the atmosphere in the actual stadiums, like mad.
Oh yeah, I bet it's electric there because everybody's so into it. But it's the same thing like that in like the in Brazil or anywhere like that. That's like super into soccer or football. Sorry, Andre would be yelling at me right now. Andre loves football. He gets mad when I call it soccer.
Yeah, so do I, but I don't really mention it to people.
Well, I get it, but he's running for president. He wants to be a president in the United States. He was born in Florida, but he travels like he's I think he's currently in New Zealand, and he always calls it football. He's not called it soccer. And I was like, well, if you're going to be an American president, you're probably going to have to call it football. I mean, you're probably going to have to call it soccer if you're going to be an American president. Otherwise, no one's going to know what you're talking about. Americans are dumb, so you got to meet them halfway.
I mean, if you say football in America, normally it goes straight to we call it rugby.
Yeah, but we have rugby too.
Sorry.
Like ours is just a whole the football that we have is on a whole different sport. I just think it's improperly named. There's not a lot of people using their feet for the ball unless you're talking about kickoffs and punts in our football. You're actually not using your foot very much.
Yeah.
So it's an improperly named sport, but everybody's stuck with it at this point.
Yeah.
What do we? I mean, and football is spelled different too, isn't it? Like FUTBOL or something like that.
Hmm?
How do they spell football? No,
well, in some countries, you're right, Jacob.
I know they all spell it differently.
In England, it's FOOTBA. O.
Oh, okay. Same as ours. Gotcha.
Yeah. Might be Spanish. I think it's FUTBOL.
Or yeah, because usually the U has one of those asterisks over it. So it's some kind of Spanish or Brazil or I don't know. Could be any of them. I don't know. By the spelling of it, I would assume it was that because even in the U.S. when you're learning Spanish, they call it football North Americano or football, and you actually pronounce it different. Like you say it like foot. You actually don't say football. There's not so much emphasis on the foot or the O's, I guess.
I'm trying to remember what it is in German because I learned German for like 5 years.
Ooh, freaking the Dutch.
There's no point. I'm useless at it.
I have a couple friends over in Germany. I'd like to go over there, but I just don't have the money to anymore. After I retired,
I want to go to Finland. I can speak a little bit of Finnish. I think that'd be fun. Favorite bands from Finland. I think it'd be cool to visit there at least once. Go to Helsinki or something.
I think the only place I can afford to go now is TJ. Tijuana.
Tijuana.
And
It's a
from what
hard
I
pass.
understand,
I don't feel. I'm not gonna lie. I don't feel safe in Mexico. I'm not trying to go out in Mexico. I'm too white from Mexico. I just don't feel safe there.
It really depends. It really depends on where you're at. But even
I'm too naive, and I would get taken advantage of very easily.
Well, my daughter and her boyfriend and a bunch of friends went to, was it Cabo or one of those resort towns? And I did not want her going. And she's like, Dad, it'll be fine. It's a resort. And like a week before she left, a bunch of cartel members came flying in on jet skis and, beached them and just started shooting people and with machine guns. And then they bailed. They were just there to make a point. This is our area. I was like, Jordan, look what just happened. And she's like, well, we already have our tickets. We're going. I don't think it was Cabo. I can't remember which. Maybe it was, but anyway. I mean, there's parts I would like to go down at the end of Baja, California. There's a town called La Paz, and it's supposed to be really laid back, and the sands
Jesse
are
the
white.
Body Ventura lives, doesn't he?
Oh, is he in La Paz?
Mexico. I got a silo of corn. Baja. Yeah. You can see him having a bunch of like stray dogs out in Baja, Mexico.
Yeah.
You don't mess with Jesse the Body Ventura? Come on. Oh, and no, I was gonna tell you, I have a picture of your American doppelganger.
Oh dear.
Well, I'm just looking at your picture here, and I know somebody that looks exactly like you. It's creepy to me. I was just like, oh man, I actually know somebody that you look exactly like from America that is not you. Doesn't have an accent at all.
No, my accent is like horrendous.
Every time I say that, Jacob, like, oh, I know someone that looks just like you, and then when I like show them, I'm like,
you're like, no.
I mean, like when I look at it, like I show it to them, and then I'm kind of like, well, maybe not.
All right, I'm gonna play this game. Okay, I'm gonna play this game with you guys. Then you're gonna tell me if I'm making this up. I think I found a doppelganger, but I definitely need outside judgment. But the only thing I have to reference is this picture that I'm looking at right now. So, and I know it's always hard for the person looking back because it's hard to look at yourself and be like, oh, that looks like me. Like, same with my voice. Like, I don't know what I sound like. Even when I hear it through audio stuff, I think I sound weird.
No, everyone does.
Yeah. Do you think I have like a crazy Midwest accent, Noah? Do I sound like I'm from Chicago or something? I don't know what that sounds like, but
neither do I, to be honest. You just sound American.
Okay, fair enough. No, I listen to I like to listen to a lot of Jimmy Carr comedy, and he's got some very funny ones where he picks up the different accents, and I think he does a good job of verifying the differences. And now that like you came on, your accent does sound like you're from Northern Europe, almost Scottish.
Yeah, I lived in Scotland until I was 5, and then I moved up here. Well,
Fair
down,
enough.
yeah.
Here. Yeah.
Well, that explains it.
So, like, where I am, I don't sound like normal compared to everyone else. But if I go back home, I don't sound like anyone else there. So,
Well, that's good. You're like unique.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to sound like everybody else. Like I think that's like a standout characteristic, you know. You don't want to be like just another voice in the crowd. I would want to sound like I would want my voice to sound somewhat unique, even if it was weird to other people.
I mean, like, if I'm out with the lads and stuff, I do sound like a normal person. But when I'm just like with one of them, I sound completely different.
Mm. When I was young and I would hear people from England mostly England, I'd hear them on the TV. I'd always like trip out, because when you're young, I didn't know anyone with that accent, and then I started feeling like they were talking down to us or something, like condescending. And then it took me a while to learn that that's just the accent, the way they talk. They're not meaning to sound condescending, but
Well, I think it's different than that too. I think Americans have like two ways of thinking about it. They either have your way or the more common way of being like, oh, when it comes out of somebody English speaking's mouth, it just sounds more intelligent. Like there's also that part. Because I feel like depending on who's saying it, unless it's Morgan Freeman, it doesn't sound good.
I heard some guys talking at a bar when I was there, and dude, I could not understand anything. They were talking that what's kind of that slang.
If you say scouse, I swear.
What?
Don't say scouse, please, for the love of God, don't say scouse.
No. Is it? I don't know if it's slang. It may not be slang. I have to figure it out.
Well, there is like 36 different accents in England, so good luck.
Yeah, there's a lot of different regions. Usually the Scouts get picked on a little bit.
Geordies, oh, I feel so bad for them.
I'm not a Geordie.
I'm not a Geordie, eh?
Oh.
Would it be Cockney? I think.
Oh dear.
They tend to have more slags by population, I hear.
Yeah, man, that was so hard to pick up on. I was like, wow, that's crazy.
Why was that hard to pick up on?
You couldn't understand what they were saying.
Oh.
Well, like, I'm speaking differently to you lot because I'm trying to sound like a normal person instead of talking.
You're trying to sound like a normal person right now?
Yeah.
That's what's going on?
Yep.
All right. Fair enough.
I mean, if I said a sentence like, you come into my house or something, you'll be a bit confused.
I would be?
Well, if I speak fast enough, yes.
All right. Do you do like slang like Bossman was talking about? Do you like have you ever seen the movie Green Street Hooligans? I didn't even ask you that.
No.
Because they do some like street slang where they'll say struggling runt means something else.
Never heard that before. But
Never heard that one. Or like bees and honey for money.
I was expecting like words like mush and like grass and chopped and shit. No.
Yeah, I heard you say those ones. You typed those ones. I was like, oh, okay. Fair enough. I have heard those
chop means like nick, like taking something, like someone's taken something of yours, like they're stolen something.
Oh, okay. I didn't know what that meant at all. That helps a little bit.
Say someone like, I don't know why, but say someone takes your shoes, you go, oh, someone's just chopped my shoes.
You say you're going to chop their shoes?
Yeah, no, like, if someone nicks your shoes, you just go, oh, they've chopped my shoes.
All right.
It's the most Cumbrian slang ever.
I don't remember the Ebonics language lesson that there used to be.
No,
and it was like, drop them Nikes off your ass before I blast you, mother effer, or something like that. It's the same thing as saying, give me your shoes. I was like, oh, okay. Got it. That's what it means when he likes your kicks.
Nah, British schools are absolutely horrendous.
I just trip out on how different, like, how different the like how we call different things something totally different. Like flashlight here is torch over there.
Yeah, it's a torch.
Oh man, no, it's crackers. It's crackers, cookies, chips, and crisps that fuck me up.
Oh no! Don't start with the chips, please.
And biscuits.
That's one that I never understood.
A biscuit to me and Jacob is something way different than a biscuit over there.
Right, you think about it, right? A chip is like a piece of potato, like a chunk. So it makes
not a
sense.
chunk. It's a very thin slice.
Chip. Right. And how does this explain this? Right.
It's
my
not like
version
a big
of chips.
chunk. A chunk of potato is like hash browns for us, or cubed potatoes. That's what we'd call a big chunk.
Home fries.
Oh, I love hash browns.
And then like we say shopping cart, and it's a trolley.
Yeah, it's a trolley. Like I'm going to Asda. I'm going to nick a trolley.
And that's one thing I'm never doing when I go into England. You will never catch me with a fag in my mouth.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's an American term that has just been taken out of context. But that one will not be in my mouth.
I mean, I'm sat here with a toot, so... Sorry,
what was that?
Vape. I'm sat here with a toot, but a toot is a vape, and it's...
No, that's an electric fag.
A what?
An electric fag.
Like a smoke?
Yeah. That's what you just said, right? Wouldn't that be an electric fag?
Yeah,
I mean,
a cigarette or whatever you call it.
Well, because I don't call cigarettes fags out here. That's why I brought that one up. I think it's a funny one.
Well, it depends what age you are.
Well, I mean, I'm a child at heart, so I'm allowed to be 32 or 33 and still make jokes like this because I'm a child.
From like here around the age of like 30 upwards, you say a fag. And then
I don't actually call anybody that in the U.S. The only time I've ever used that language is when I'm talking about an English cigarette.
In England, the word fag gets used quite a lot. For many different reasons.
So the term for cigarette, like the slang term for cigarette when I was growing up, is people would ask you for a square, which made absolutely no sense to me. A square. They were like,
I'd just give them an OXO cube.
Was that?
I'd just give them an OXO cube. You know, like the stock cubes you can get.
like a